Hi, this is Mike from Music Ministry 101, and I wanted to talk to you about the three most important factors that influence congregational singing. There are three key factors that are sort of the bottom of the pyramid, and what you can do is make sure that you have those three factors honed in so that your congregation is willing to sing, because as you know, some people don't like singing. So anyways, depending on where you're from in the country and what the culture is of your parish, you may have noticed that congregational singing can be a challenge for Catholics. There are plenty of other denominations, and this is going to sound negative, but it's just kind of the truth. There are many denominations that have different or even better traditions of congregational singing, but a lot of Catholic churches struggle with it. So here are the three areas. Area number one is the spiritual devotion of the person to what's going on and to God himself. So what do I mean by that? Well, let's imagine for a second a baseball game. If you have a person going to a baseball game, they're American, they've been going to baseball games forever, and they always sing the national anthem. They hum along the national anthem with whoever is singing it. They are devoted to the sport, and they are devoted to the nation as well. And so when they go to the game, they're going to hum along with the national anthem no matter what. It doesn't matter who's singing it, but they are going to be right there with them. Now that's devotion. Let's take a look at spiritual devotion. The people that go to daily mass often sing quite a bit, in my experience. Back in my home church in Belchertown, Massachusetts, there would be, let's say, 30 people at daily mass, and they would make a racket of singing, congregational singing. That's because they have a lot of faith and they're very devoted to praising the Lord through music. They just have a lot of belief and they have a lot of faith, and that's what they want to do. So devotion is a key aspect. Another example is we had the Archbishop of Hartford come to our church. And what happened, which was very interesting, the church had a lot of the most devoted people in it come to that mass because the Archbishop was there. And so the congregational singing was very good, like among the best masses we've had for the Archbishop. Okay, that leads me to number two, which is expectation. The expectation of the priest and of the music ministers for the congregation to sing sends a clear message of what they should do. So, for instance, even if they're devoted, which is number one, if they're not expected to sing, they may not sing. So, two is the expectation to sing. Now, of course, there's a bunch of ways to reinforce this. Probably the primary one is telling people, please join in singing, but that's a very basic one too. Here's another example. If the priest sings everything and he's committed to being on the right page and singing with the congregation, that shows an expectation to sing. Also, if you have new parishioners that come to the church for the first time, you could also talk to them like at the meeting where people are introduced to parish life. You could talk about, here we're a singing parish and there's an expectation to sing, that kind of thing. All right, so devotion, expectation. Number three is familiarity with the song and the music. Could also be the simplicity of the music, but familiarity. So if we do Amazing Grace here, then all of the devoted people that are expected to sing will sing because they're familiar with the song. It's the other part of the triangle. But if I do a song here by Matt Maher, the Christian or Catholic rock artist, they might not know that song. So even if they're devoted, even if we expect them to sing the song, if they're not familiar with it, you're kind of out of luck. So you have to have familiarity with the music as an essential element. And we'll talk about how we can build familiarity with the congregation and also how you want to balance new and old stuff as well. But those are the three primary areas. So for you to improve congregational singing, I'll just give you a hint. You have to work on the 3 areas. 1, get your congregation familiar with the music. 2, set up the expectation to sing. Even you could talk to your pastor about mentioning that we're singing parish. And then the other aspect is helping the people to grow in their faith so that they are more committed to being active members of the worship, active members of Mass. Okay? I hope that was helpful. If you have any other thoughts about this, about the 3 main areas of congregational singing, leave them in the comments below. And I'm aware that these are the basic, the key areas, but there are, of course, a whole bunch of other things that affect congregational singing, like the weather and like the time of day and stuff like that. But I think these are the 3 main ones. So I hope that was helpful. And if you wouldn't mind sharing this with another person, that would be great. It would be very helpful to me and to growing this channel. Or consider subscribing to the channel itself. And I will see you in another video.